Yo, what's up? Welcome to the Wizarding Wolf YouTube channel. I'm Wolf, and this is actually the first video that I will be uploading on this channel. Alright, so I just made this new channel dedicated specifically to the Wizarding world, which hence the name Wizarding Wolf, because I am a huge fan of Harry Potter and everything to do with the Wizarding world. But this channel is primarily going to be focused on Hogwarts Legacy, the new Harry Potter game coming out soon. Well, not really a Harry Potter game, more of like a Wizarding World game set in the universe that Harry Potter takes place in. So that's mainly what's going to be happening on the channel. But I thought for a great first video, we would go through and watch the reveal trailer of Hogwarts Legacy. Now, the trailer's been out for 11 months already, and so I'm a little late to reacting. But since this trailer's been released, there's been no news all the way through the 11 months up to this date about the game. We only have the trailer, so I thought until we start getting some more information, I might as well just, talk about some theories, some speculations, and let's just go ahead and jump straight into it. All right, here we go.
Magic, both beautiful and powerful, binds together our...
Alright, I'm going to do a little bit of pausing throughout the trailer. So if you want to end up watching just the full trailer without me talking, maybe you haven't seen it yet, and this is your first time hearing about this, which would be kind of crazy if it is, I'll link the original trailer video down below in the description. But I do want to point out first things first is the owl and just this whole setup we have here. I assume this is going to be the beginning of the game of us flying here. But I just want to point out this owl mainly. It looks to be a barn owl, so I'm hoping we get to have pet owls, and hopefully we get to actually pick which pet we have. If you want a cat, want a rat, whatever it is, just like in the movies and in the books. So hopefully we will be able to actually pick that out and have our own pets to hang out with and take care of. But all this stuff is really cool. I've seen some ideas talking about the books maybe meaning stuff for how many classes there are, because we do know a few of the confirmed classes like charms, defense against the dark arts, which that's kind of a given, the care for magical creatures, and what's some of the other ones. I do think that there's going to be a class for the ancient runes, and you'll see why a little bit later in the trailer, and possibly astronomy, because we do end up seeing that there is the astronomy tower on Hogwarts, which we'll get to in just a little bit.
Our long history. That common bond we share is the legacy of Hogwarts.
All right, one more pause. I want to go ahead and point out the Quidditch pitch. I want to point out the Quidditch pitch over here, which I think this should mean that we will have Quidditch in the game. Some people once again have speculated about like there being DLCs for Quidditch, which I think would kind of suck because once again that's another major part of Hogwarts and Harry Potter and everything to do with that. So it would kind of suck if we had to pay extra to play Quidditch since it's such a major role in this world. But if they end up doing that, I'm sure we'll all be throwing our money at WB Games Avalanche for some Quidditch. But I'm pretty sure this should just be in the game. That's what I think anyways. I don't think they're going to make us pay extra for such a major part. It'd be like making us pay to use spells, which I don't think would make it much sense. We also see that we have the owlery up here in the back right, and I just like the way the castle looks here in the game. They took away some things like in the movies and in the books there's supposed to be like greenhouses right here, and they replaced it with a fountain, which I'm actually okay with because really we don't really want to walk through like 4 different greenhouses. So adding a whole new area here, and this is the greenhouse here. It looks like where we have it's like a dome. It's kind of like this cross look, which is I think really cool. And they also, it looks like they went with the Hogwarts from, I think it's Order of the Phoenix, where the bridge that was here in the last 2 movies, where they end up fighting Voldemort, on that big bridge that went to the mountains over here for no reason, because there's nothing over here. It's just a forest. So that bridge was kind of just useless, or specifically for fight scenes. So I'm glad they decided to remove that because there's no need to have that bridge, and it gives the castle just like a cool looking look. And I think the bridge is actually right here, back where it originally was. Overall, this just looks so cool. You get all the cool windows. There's the astronomy tower I was talking about, which is why I think that we might actually have a class. Maybe it'll have to do with leveling. Maybe it'll help us with our skill trees if we end up having a skill tree, which that's kind of what I think it's going to be. For our leveling, it's going to be a skill tree. We won't know until the game comes out.
Now it is time to add your own.
And this game is set in the late 1800s, so we do know that this is before Harry Potter and Lord Voldemort, so we won't be seeing those characters, which I'm actually kind of okay with because we've already had so many games based around Harry Potter's story and just replaying it. We've already seen read the books, seen the movies, So, and we've also had multiple games about it, but it's kind of hard since his story is so set in stone. You don't really have much freedom to just do a lot of other things because we already know how his story plays out, so they can't really branch off. So I think it's a really good idea that they made the game about your own character that you get to just freely explore with.
To quite possibly shape the future of the wizarding world.
And I'm curious about right here. Is this just like a flying, cart? Wagon? I wonder if this is just a flying wagon similar to the Weasley's car that can just, fly around, magical cars. Or if this actually has a, what do they call? A thestral. I'm wondering if it's actually a thestral, the invisible creatures that you can only see if you've witnessed death. I assume that's what it actually is because if you see that the wheels land back here first, so, the horse is up there and then the wheels hit and then the wagon. Well, you also have our guy up here wearing some goggles, protecting his eye from them bugs flying at him. But that's pretty dang neat.
Every corridor.
Wait, hold up. Did y'all see that? What is this? What is this over here? Some rendering issues? Hopefully they get that fixed. But I just want to say, look at this. The Great Hall looks amazing. The amount of detail put into this. Now, I know this is just a trailer, but if this looks anything similar to the final game, will be amazing. You got our banners here, our house banners here. So you've got Gryffindor, Ravenclaw. This looks like actually Hufflepuff over here, and I'm guessing this will be Slytherin. Although I'm pretty sure in the movies, Slytherin was over here and Hufflepuff was on this side. But this looks so cool. You also have the house mascots over here on the side of the columns. You have Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Slytherin, and same with up here on the windows, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, and you also have them on the side here. And then the cool sun moon map, which is just such an awesome looking situation. I've heard some people didn't really like this look of the Great Hall because they said it looked too old churchy, cathedral, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was inspired off of, with the pointy windows and just the whole art style in general, even in the books and the movies. I actually do like these as well. And all the candles is so cool to see. I'm glad they decided to add more than less of these. And we also have the little stand. Oh my gosh, I forgot what that's called. That Dumbledore talks on. I do want to say something about this does seem off. Like it's like the room kind of looks like small, almost smaller than in Harry Potter, or like it's not as long. It looks like they stretched it out wider and made the length a lot less. So I hope that they kind of changed that around, just because the tables are usually really long with all the different students sitting on them, and it kind of just looks like there's a little bit less students here. Also, this student is actually wearing normal clothes, so I assume that means we're going to be able to not be, specifically stuck to robes or to a certain outfit. I assume this means that we actually are able to change our clothes to different things.
Every portrait, every stone in this castle.
That's pretty cool.
Tells the...
And this looks awesome. So we have the library here. It looks way different than we've seen before. We have these tables here, good touch, and then the normal book stand. And this just the look at the architecture of this game. The detail, the animations for everything is just so cool. Can't wait to just see like the books flying around, and maybe this little statue heads will move. That's something else I really hope is in the game, that the environment just feels magical all the time. You have just stuff everywhere. Something's always happening. Also, we have the staircase over here, so that's symmetrical. You love to see it, but this is just amazing. Also, our character's face is blurred here, so I don't know if this is our character or if this is maybe a main character that they don't want to, spoil who it is. I've heard theories of Dumbledore being in the game. But yeah, this just looks incredible.
Witches and wizards.
Oh wait, see, like that, the knights here, saluting the I guess this is the player walking through. That's stuff that I want. I just want motion happening, magical creatures and things and books flying, and obviously the paintings are going to be moving and talking to us, hopefully. So just things. I just want things happening all the time, and hopefully they populate the school a bit more, because we do know from Harry Potter that the school is just full of students everywhere, walking, talking. So hopefully it doesn't feel too empty, because then I'll just feel more lonely and isolated than a popular magical school.
Who came before?
And this is kind of what I want to talk about earlier, is that flying scene that we had up here on this wagon. I assume this is actually the beginning of the game. We probably customize our character, and then we show up to Hogwarts in the wagon. Now, we do know from some leaked gameplay that It looks like we'll be able to choose our house and the character customization. We don't know if they're going to change that by the time the game comes out. Maybe we'll choose it here at the hatting ceremony where we'll sit down and, I'll show the 4 houses and we get to select, and maybe the hat gives the dialogue, difficult, bold, brave, Gryffindor, whatever it is. Or we're going to end up picking it, and then the cutscene plays, we come in, we just get our thing selected. This kid's already wearing robes, some Ravenclaw robes, so that's kind of interesting. I'm really curious who this guy is. Maybe he's like a Hogwarts Legacy version of McGonagall, and maybe this guy is Charm's teacher. I have no clue. I have absolutely no clue this guy's going to be. So we could make a video talking about these guys. Wait, actually, it looks like they actually did change that, what I thought it was wrong. Maybe just the green is more vibrant in this game, because it looks like their hoods are a proper green color. It looked kind of yellow before, so maybe this is Slytherin over here.
Here you will meet lifelong friends and grow into your own magical ability.
And once again, I assume this means Quidditch confirmed, and flying on a broomstick is also confirmed, hopefully. This looks like it's possibly a professor, maybe? But also, she looks really old, so I wonder if she's somebody older, or just the face model just looks really old. And we also have more people in normal, clothes, not robes. So I'm guessing that means that we do get to pick our outfits, or just change outfits throughout the story, which is always a fun option.
Abilities in the classrooms of the world's most talented professors.
This guy looks cool. Clearly our potions teacher here. So it'll be interesting to see him. Maybe he's like a Snape figure. He looks kind of mean, kind of grouchy, like he might be playing that role of Snape. And he's also teaching potions, so that makes sense. And we got the greenhouse here, herbology. So we do know that this is also confirmed by the trailer. These plants don't look very magical, so I hope they end up making these more magical looking, which I guess not everything has to be overly grand magic happening, but it is always nice. And you got Slytherin, Gryffindors.
And while your journey begins,
and our potions.
Brewing potions.
Man, that looks awesome.
Beasts,
and this looks like it's the Ravenclaw common room, because of the stars up here on the ceiling. And man, this just looks so cool. I wonder if they're gonna let us go into all the common rooms, despite not picking them. It's not allowed in Harry Potter. So I wonder how that's gonna work. Maybe we can sneak in, we get caught, we get in trouble. Some different things like that.
Spells.
More spells. Transfiguration. I've heard people say that this looks like, or they think it's the Defense Against the Dark Arts. I don't think so. This looks very much like McGonagall's class, and transfiguring this thing from what it was. Yeah, from the board into the dummy. So this is Transfiguration. I'm excited for that.
There is a larger world.
We get Hogsmeade confirmed. And this, we get to see that we can actually fly on the different animals. So we have a hippogriff here, and we also have the griffin on this side. And then we also have some cool places down here. Curious what these are. If these are abandoned, or if these are actual lived-in locations. And it looks like we're flying down here, maybe. So possibly a cave that we get to explore. A dungeon, maybe.
A world filled
yep, this is probably there.
You can't hear.
And this looks like it's the prison of Azkaban. Mainly because it looks like there's the prison cell doors over here on the sides. And you just have this gate, and then a giant crack in the giant opening slit that we've seen.
Yet imagine an ancient knowledge long gone from this world.
Grab horn. And this is what I was talking about earlier with talking about the classes and possibly having runes right there. So you can see here, there's a rune there on the main wall here. There's also one on the floors on both sides. So possibly a trap. I think this looks like it'd be a trap versus just a secret path, a secret entrance. Our character's running down. It looks like we go this way, but then this wall swallows us up. Something also really neat is that the wall blends in with the rest of the just normal non-magical walls, which I like, because a lot of games will have it discolored to be like this is interactable. So I'm glad they made this not stand out so heavily. Awesome.
That strange and mysterious
more runes once again.
May be the key.
Yeah, see another rune right there.
This dormant power. Your potential
Grab horn.
is limitless.
I really hope that we get to use the same spells and take the club and drop it on his head. I highly doubt that. I'm sure we'll have to just fight it normal, but that'd be really fun.
But what form will it take?
I'm assuming this guy is the main villain of the story, the big bad, or maybe he's like the pre-big bad, the one that you think you're fighting the whole story, and then maybe some bigger, badder guy walks out. Wait, did y'all see that? Hold up. Did y'all see that? What the heck was that? Look at our robe. The robe is just like clipping all the way through her gut here, just slicing her in half right there. That's kind of awkward. Let's hope they fix that. Oh, and the wand. The wand just like leaves her hand. This is super early on in the trailer, so I'm not actually really critiquing this. I'm sure all this stuff will not be in the real game. The spells themselves look so cool because we got to see it here. We got to see a defensive spell fighting the troll, and they just look so clean. And I like that look because a lot of games with magic usually make it just like this bright ball of flash, just constant, just overly intensity versus a sort of the subtle purple with maybe like the little explosion that happened right here. Like it's just so cool looking. Everything is just so, looks so well done. I'm so happy about that. Dragons in the game.
The journey ahead.
I actually think this is gameplay. So this right here, because someone had tweeted and asked when we'd see gameplay, and someone said, how do you know you haven't seen gameplay already in the trailer? So I think this looks a lot more, less of like a trailer and more of gameplay. So I wonder how the system's going to work if, you know, because this guy shoots multiple spells at us. So I wonder how it's going to, how we're going to tell when it's going to be a combo, or, you know, how that's going to look. Maybe it's just the animation of how he moves that we know, oh, this is going to be, you know, a 3-hit combo. Let's, you know, block, block, block. How it's going to work.
It will reveal what you stand for. The choices you make now will define the legacy of Hogwarts.
Man, oh man, oh man. I am insanely excited for this game. It looks like it's going to be the best Harry Potter game we've ever had, or wizard game that we've ever had. So let me know what your favorite part is about the trailer, what you're most excited to see, what you're hoping for, and possibly some video ideas that you want to hear me talk about. Because I'll be uploading a lot more. I'll be covering the news of the game, any updates that we see, and more about just the Wizarding world entirely. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time I upload. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace. Or, yeah, one. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Catch you in the next video.